Hi, I'm Linda from Barlates Body Blitz. Welcome to Traditional Barre Dynamic. For today's workout, all you will need is something to hold on to for balance. I'm using a chair, some light hand weights. I'm using 1 kilo, which is just over 2 pounds. And I've got a Pilates ring for just one of the segments. If you don't have a ring, you can use a resistance loop or a Pilates band tied into a loop. It's going to go just above the knees for some outer thigh and glute work, okay? So the dynamic aspect today is lots of nice flowing movements, large range of motion movements to get the heart rate up and then also to really isolate and burn out those muscles. So we'll be doing larger range as well as some micro iso movements. Are you ready? We're going to start in the center of the room and we're just going to point and point. So I want you to slightly plie in the center and then point your toe, point your toe. I've got one foot stepping in front, the other behind, just so you're staying on the spot. And as you point, I want you to think about lengthening. So it's a down and out, down and out. The arms are just coming in front and to the side, flowing arms. We're going to start picking up our legs. 4 more of these, and 3, and 2, and 1. So you have to pick it up and then place it down kind of more central this time. So this time you need to transfer the weight a little bit more, and you're slightly, ever so slightly leaning over the supporting leg. Still straightening out, pointing that toe and coming down into that little mini plie with your feet turned out. Weight is always in the heels of the supporting leg. Breathing through it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to come to the front and we're just going to swing our arms and start really low with our legs to the front. Pointing those toes, trying to keep our knees soft the entire time, but trying to straighten on the out. Up and down, up and down. Again, arms are just floating. Bend pressing through the legs. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to change the arms, slow it down, and come up on your toe just the tiniest bit. Okay, so I'm floating my arms down, using a bit of momentum from my arms, and then bouncing slightly up on that toe. Up on that toe. Still pointing the extending leg, just warming up through those calves. How about 4 more? And 3. It's a tiny up. 2 and 1. Now we're going to come across, walk behind, across, walk behind, across, walk behind, across. So you're kind of pushing off, walk behind, across, walk behind, across, walk behind, push off. So it's tap, push off, across, push off. So there's always that little tap there, slowing it down a little bit, and across, tap across, tap across. 4 more, and 3, and 2, and 1. Nice job. We're going to pick up our hand weights and we're going to stay with that same sort of floating exercise, but we're going to change it slightly. So this time we're coming into a side lunge and we're going to pick up that leg. So it's staying on one side, down, and pick it up. So what I want you to focus on here is extending the leg long, keeping your kneecap to the front, and extending your arms over. So as you come up, you're going to feel your oblique, the side of your waist there, as well as your outer thigh. And as you come down, you're going to sink really deep, sticking your glute to the back, hinging forward slightly from the waist, and that's going to get into your glutes. Breathing out at the top, reach. 6 more like this. And 5, and 4, 3, 2, try and get low to high, 1. Now stay up, and it's a big extension And it's a tiny bend over and a big bend over. So tiny to this side, bigger to this side as you pick it up. Soft in the supporting leg, feeling your obliques again, crunching everything. If you can't come up that far, keep it lower. This is a very known effective exercise for your obliques and outer thighs and hips. Okay, effective, proven to give you results. Make sure your form is good here. If you need to hold on with one hand, you can. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to grab the chair and we're going to continue on that same side. So what we just did is without the chair, and now we're going to bend more into the supporting leg and make this wider. Without the weight means you've got larger range of motion through the arm. So sitting back into the glute of the supporting leg, lightly holding onto that chair, extending the leg long for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Now, elbow down, hand around, and we're going to do big circles. So we're keeping the same shape. Okay, supporting leg is soft, and you are circling, keeping the outer thigh facing the ceiling the entire time. So you don't want to turn your knee up. Make sure your body is still upright. You should be feeling it in here, in this waistline muffin top area, as well as outer thighs and glutes. Okay, so this one's a double whammy. Big circle around to the back. Around to the back. Squeeze those glutes. Breathe through it. 4 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. Now bring the leg up, bend it in, pulse up, up, hold. It's up, up, hold. Tiny plie in this knee. Up, up, hold. Up, up, hold. You need to try and keep this engagement here by keeping your chest up. Up, hold. Up, up, hold. Squeeze the glute. Really get in there. Go for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And guess what? We're going the other way. So this time you're circling to the front. To the front. But you're still keeping that leg really straight, right? To the front. Big circles. Around. Around. Try to keep the legs straight, but if you really can't, then do it like this, okay? This is an option for you. And the more you lean over, the easier this will be on your obliques. So stay up here, right? May as well. 4, 3, I know you're getting tired. 2, and 1. This time, if you can keep it straight, it's up, up, hold. Up, up, hold. If you can't, do another set of bent legs. It's up, up, hold. Up, up, hold. Tiny little bends in that leg, keeping it soft. Just 4 more, I'm not that mean. 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. So we don't need the chair for the first bit unless you're really struggling with your balance. So we're going to pick up our weights again, and we're running through that again. So starting out this time with a side lunge, and then over. Side lunge, and then over. So you want to make sure that in the side lunge, you've got a wide stance. You're getting a bit of a dynamic stretch through that inner thigh. Down, and then reaching over, squeezing the waistline. And remember, kneecap to the front, pointed toe. Really hinging forward from the waistline in that side lunge. So you're loading all of the weight into the heel, which gets into that glute. Breathe through it, up and out. Large range of motion, getting the heart rate high. How about 5 more? Down and up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to go over and over. So this is where you may need to hold on to something with one hand, and that's totally fine. But if you can, just soften the bend in your supporting leg. It's a little bend, big bend. Little bend, big bend. Breathe through it, remembering to keep this leg really straight. Point the toe across. It doesn't have to come high, you just need to feel it, and it's okay to wobble and fall off balance like I just did. 4 more, and 3, and 2, and 1. Try not to kick the cat. Okay, get the chair, if you've got a chair there, little Minnie Mouse, and we're going to do the same thing, keeping our leg kind of turned out, bend into that, and we're going to come up and down. Now this time, reaching over that chair. Using our arms more dynamically because we don't have that weight in there. And trying to keep that leg straight if you can. If you can't, then maybe here. This is an option, okay? Up. And as I said, if you lean over more, you're not going to feel it quite as much. You would have seen me do this exercise in many of my bar videos because it's so super effective on your obliques and outer thighs and hips all at the same time. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, elbow down, and we're going to do circles. Circles. Doesn't really matter which way you start, if you start to the front or the back, as long as you feel the engagement in here. So maybe put your hand there so you can feel it. The more you've got your chest lifted, the more you're going to feel this in the waistline. But if you are struggling, come down here, okay? Or maybe even bend your leg like we did before. Around and around. 6, big circles. 5, outer thigh to the ceiling. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now come up, bend your leg. It's up, up, hold. Maybe pulse, pulse, hold. Up, up, hold. Up, up, hold. Now if you're doing this plie, it doesn't mean that you stop moving this leg. So you may as well just up, up, hold, and not do the plie if it's putting you off. Because both need to be moving. Up, up, hold. Squeeze, squeeze. Up, up, hold. 5 more. 4 more. 3 more. Really squeeze. 2 more. Last one. Now extend again, and we're going this time. I'm going to the back. Just reverse your circle. Push up out of your shoulder. Don't slouch. Keep the legs straight. Bring it up high. Squeezing the waist. Make sure you always have your supporting legs soft. You should be able to wiggle your toes. And around. Up and around. Come on. Squeeze everything. Large range of motion, dynamic movement, but still a lot of burn, right? 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up, slightly behind the hip line. Up, up, hold. Up, up, hold. And remember, if you can't do this, then bend. Bend. It's up, up, hold. Maybe pulse through this leg as long as you're still lifting. The main thing I want you to focus on is the lift. It's tiny, but it's doing a lot, and it should be burning. 4 more. Up, up, hold. 3, 2, last one. Nice job. Okay, you don't need your chair for this next segment, but you need your hand weights. And we're coming into a plie position, nice and wide. So depending on how flexible you are, turn out your feet as much as you can. We're going to come down with our tummy in, our shoulders rolled down and back. Squeeze your glutes, slightly tuck your hips, and think about pushing your knees to the wall, okay? We're going to come forward and up. Forward and up. So down and forward, out and up. Now I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades as you come up. And you're not fully extending through the legs, you're remaining in that bent leg position. Squeezing your glutes, slightly tucking your hips, pushing those knees to the back. Down and up. Get as wide as you can and as low as you can. Down and up, down and up. 6, squeeze those shoulder blades. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, last 1. Now I want goalpost arms, goalpost and overhead. So it's down, front, and overhead. Same thing with the legs. And if the legs ever confuse you, then just stop and hold them still. But make sure it's holding still in that squat position, okay? Don't come up. Down, forward, and up. Down, forward, and up. 4 more like this. 3, and 2, and 1. We're going to hold that down and just go down and up, down and up. So try to hold your low plie, maybe a tiny pulse in there, and down and up. Goalpost arms. Breathe through it. I know this is tough. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're not done, but we're going to face our palms to the front and just do circle arms to get rid of some of that lactic acid. Down and up, circle it. Palms face the front of the room on the down and on the up. Large range of motion for the legs, getting rid of that lactic acid there as well. But now think about those form pointers again. Think about squeezing your butt. Think about tucking your hips slightly. And think about pushing your knees towards the back of the room. 4 more. And 3. And 2. And last 1. Now we're going to come up on one toe. You might need to come in a little bit more narrow here. And we're going to flip our palms in front. We're flipping and pulsing. Now as I'm flipping, I'm keeping my elbows soft. Pulse and pulse. Flip and flip. Push your shoulders down, keep your neck long. Tummies are in. Push your knees to the back of the room. Open out through those inner thighs. Flip and flip. 6, 5, come on. 4, 3, 2, last 1. Switch it out. Arms to the side this time, same thing. Flip and flip, but keeping that little bend, keeping your shoulders pushed down. And if you have any problems with your shoulders, you can lean forward slightly, and that will put it more into the upper back, okay? Pulse and pulse. Flip and flip. Come on, I know it's getting hard. 6, breathe. 5, you can bend your arms more. 4, if it's just too hard for you. 2, and last 1. One final thing, down and up. Down, up to the tippy toes. Down and up. So same circles, but this time we're going up on our tippy toes. Once again, for the lactic acid, because we're going to the ring next, and that's going to burn. Up, down, and up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Nice job. So drop your weights and grab your ring. And we also need the chair. So we're going to get the chair and we're going to face the seat of the chair towards us. Then we're going to step into the ring and we're going to place it above our knees. And that's where it's going to stay. Then we're going to kneel down. So make sure then, as you're kneeling, that it's far enough above your knees so that it's comfortable and you're pressing out against the ring the entire time. Now I want you to align your body so your hands are in front, your tummy's in, and you're going to slightly tuck your hips forward. Okay, slightly tuck. Make sure you adjust so it doesn't hurt. And then you're going to put the weight onto your hands and onto the back leg and raise up the front leg ever so slightly. Then we're going to go out and in. It's pressing out, tiny in. Pressing out, tiny in. I'm going to move so you can see my leg a bit better. See, it's the tiniest out. Tiny out and in. Tiny out and in. And I'm trying to keep my upper body nice and straight, tucking my hips and pushing out against the ring. And on the in, there is still pressure. There's pressure on the out and on the in. It's out further and in. Out further and in. And depending where your ring is, you might feel it more coming towards your knees rather than higher up, okay? That's a little secret for you if you want to burn even more. Now squeeze your glute at the same time and out and in. 2 more like this, and 2. Now we're going to go back and in. This time your leg is coming behind the other leg, and as it comes in, it's still behind the other leg. Tuck against your leg pushing back. Minnie wants attention just at the moment when we're burning the most, right, Minnie? Can you sit there for us and just look cute so that you take our mind off what's actually happening in our glutes right now? Are you pushing back really hard? Tuck forward as you push back. So think about tucking your hips slightly forward as you push back. That will intensify that work in there. Keep everything else nice and centered. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now extend your leg slightly, but keep it behind. And we're going to tap and up. Tap and up. So you're tapping your toe, keeping that leg as far behind this other leg as you can, by pushing against the ring. So it's isometric tension there. Tap and up. Tap and up. Really squeeze your glute and really think about hamstring here. So on the up, squeeze your hamstring, tap and up. Tap and up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now come back in line and push out, and from there we're just going to go forward and back the tiniest bit. So you're pushing against this and then just going forward and back, forward and back. So it's out for the outer thigh, pushing against the ring, and then forward and back to feel the glute. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done on that side. Now I have to successfully move the chair without Minnie getting upset. Oh, can I do it so you can see my leg a bit better? There you go, success. So readjust if you need to. Center yourself, tummy's in, tuck your hips slightly forward. By tucking your hips, I mean push your glutes, squeeze your glutes to push your hips slightly forward. That's the position we're starting in. Transfer your weight into your hands and onto that other leg, and it's out and in. So it's out, and on the in, there's still tension. You're starting with your leg up so that when you press out, there's still tension on it on the in, okay? Secret, that's the secret. The secret to tighter glutes and outer thighs, out and in. This is a micro movement. You should not be expecting a lot of motion here. Some people do it in such a contracted way that you cannot even see any motion at all, and that's fine as long as you feel it. And if any time the ring is hurting you, just adjust. Take a few seconds because you don't want bruises, right? Out and in. Squeeze out and in. Really squeeze. The side of the glute is copying all the work here. 4 more. And 3. Tuck your hips. 2. And 1. Now bring it back so there's a gap between your 2 knees and push back from there. Push back from there. It's a tiny back. A tiny back. Maybe tuck the hip as you're pushing back. So you're tucking forward as you push the toe back. Back. Squeeze. squeeze. You're going directly to the back, your hips are to the front, and you're trying to, even on the in, remain with that gap in between your two legs. Back, back. Your supporting leg's going to feel it. The way to help yourself in that situation is by putting more weight into the opposite hand, okay? Press into that. 4 more, and 3, and 2, and 1. Now extend that leg slightly, keep it back, tuck the hip. It's up and tap, up and tap. You don't have to come up super high, but I want you to feel your hamstring as you come up. Think, squeeze the hamstring, feel the glute and hamstring, up and tap. Remember that tuck in the hips. I keep repeating it because it's so much more effective when you tuck. Up and back, up and tap. Come on, keep that gap. I hope there's a lot of pressure against that ring. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now come back in line and push out, and we're just going forward and back, tiny ones, pushing out as much as you can against the ring. We've just got a little ab segment after this, and then we're done. So I want you to give me all you got for this lower body bit, because you're not coming back to it. This is the last exercise. Squeeze the glutes, tuck the hips on the back. 4 more, and 3, and 2, and last 1. Ouch. Lose the chair, sit down on your butt, lose the ring, and get your weights. Okay, last little bit to burn out your abs, and we're done with this workout. Okay, short and sharp once again. So, we're bringing our weights either side. We're going to C-curve back, blow out all of the air from your tummy. Navel is into your back. Imagine there's a piece of rope around your waist, pulling down into the floor. And then you're using your chest to come forward to counteract that. That's the C-curve. It's a C shape. That's the whole point. You're blowing out, you're grabbing your weights. You're going to come back slightly, open your arms, and come forward. So it's like an O shape with your arms. Come back slightly, keeping the C curve, and then come forward into that O. So as you come up, you're not coming up all the way, you're just coming back up to that starting point. And if this is too much for you, you can hold on with one hand, and that will make it a little bit easier, okay? Not a lot easier, but a little bit. 4 more like this. 3, make that nice curve arm position, and 1. Now this time we're coming back, opening out, other side, back, and then center. Come back to the center. It's back, looking to the side, look to the back, and then 1 center. I'm trying to anchor my feet into the mat, and back. We're nearly done, Minnie. She's complaining that it's taking too long and she wants to go out. We've got a new pond with koi fish in it. Yeah, now she's going to start eating my props. Minnie, no. Yeah, so she's discovered the koi fish, but surprisingly, she hasn't tried to attack any of them yet. 3 more. And back. Is this hurting yet? And back. 2 more. Come on. Really twist here. Really twist here. And back. And this is the last one. Back. And back. And center and up. Now we're coming down to our backs. Deep breath in. Bring your legs up. Bring your arms up in that same curved position. We're going to go down and we're going to go up. So if you can't do this with straight legs, do it with bent legs like this. Okay, down and up. Or you could even do single legs like this. Down and up. But if you can, why not? Just come down to the point that your back does not lift off the mat. If you're arching your back and it's lifting off, then come down a bit less. So maybe just here, okay? Or maybe you want to do straight legs, singles, okay? You choose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Guess what? Single arms, but double legs. How many is that? Back and both. We're only doing 6. Front back, and both. Come on, 4 more. Front, back, and both. 3, back, and both. I'm laughing because it's so hard. 2, back, and both. Last one, back, and both. And just because I'm super nice, hold a teaser. Hold it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Awesome job. That was a dynamic bar workout with all different types of components to hit nearly every body part. Nothing too intense in terms of using weights or too much equipment, a bit of Pilates ring, but those micro ISO movements definitely get deep into the muscle, and your dynamic flow helps to lengthen and stretch everything out. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you at the next segment. Stretch on your own.